Hello friend and welcome back. Today we are discussing one of my longtime favorites, AlphaRet Overnight Cream by Skinbetter Science. So we are revisiting Skinbetter Science, AlphaRet product. That is their hero product. That's what they originally launched the line with. Because we haven't discussed it in quite some time, and it's one of my favorite products, and yeah, it's a medical grade skincare product, and y'all wanted to hear more about those and whether they're worth it and how they're different from kind of over-the-counter products. So yeah, this is a great one to talk about. So let's just start off. The packaging is an airless pump design. It is not super recyclable, which is a big bummer, but it does keep the product very stable with the twist up nozzle. And it is a moderate weight, silky lotion texture. Definitely moisturizing. Yeah. It does have a little bit of that retinoid scent to it. I love that there is so much innovation front and center in this product line. The retinoid that they use is ethyl lactyl retinoate. It is difficult to break down exactly what it is because it is a proprietary molecule. It's a conjugate molecule. So they took lactic acid, a tiny bit of ethanol alcohol, and a retinoid or retinoate and just blended them together so that they break apart once they get into your skin in sort of a time release fashion. So the idea is that you can have a nice strong retinoid, but not have the bounce back from it, not have the irritation, the peeling, the dryness, the sensitization, any of that stuff, because it is that delayed release molecule. And retinoate, even though it's a little tricky to tell what retinoid they started with, retinoate is typically a gentle version of a retinoid, but still quite effective. Again, it's difficult to say how many conversions it takes to get to active retinoic acid or an active form, but we can guess that it's probably one or two. And from the results, you do see that it is effective as a retinoid. So that's their magic molecule that they included in AlphaRet. AlphaRet comes in 4 different SKUs. Well, I guess 5 different SKUs. So there is the overnight cream, the original. It is a lower percentage of glycolic acid, so it's meant to be a little less exfoliating. The overnight intensive is a little bit higher percentage of glycolic acid. There are no other differences in there. It's just more intensive exfoliation along with that magic retinoid molecule. Both of those come in either a 1.0 fluid ounce 30 ml or a 1.7 fluid ounce 50 ml option. And then there is a slightly different version that is the overnight clearing serum, which is a very different formula from the original AlphaRet, but it is more for congested skin types, so more acne prone. It has salicylic acid in it as well as the magic ethyl lactyl retinoate. So it has some calming ingredients. It has no peptides, but it's really focused on calming irritation and helping to deal with oil production and kind of managing that and moderating that, versus the original AlphaRet and the AlphaRet Intensive are made primarily for anti-aging. So photoaging, sun damage, pigmentation, dryness, texture, fine lines, wrinkles, things like that. So there is glycolic acid in this. They don't publicly release the percentages because they really want you to focus on just it as a whole, because all of the ingredients are going to work harmoniously. And while I get that to a point, I still wish that they were a little more upfront about percentages, because that's something that people like, and it gives you some more transparency and the ability to compare and contrast between products. I am sensitive to glycolic acid, so I tend to stay on the lower end of it or avoid it altogether. This occasionally will irritate my skin if I do it every single night. and I'm using a really active routine otherwise. But I really, really like this for just kind of a one and done night because it's got moisturizers in it, it's got humectants in it, it's got peptides, it's got my retinoid, it's got glycolic acid. It's got a lot of really good ingredients and they play well together. And the formula is just really well thought out. It is great for kind of normal skin types. If you want to just use this as a do your cleanser, any toners or anything like that you're going to do, and then just throw this on, you're good to go. You probably get enough moisture from that. You get your anti-aging, your anti-pigment, your soothing, your brighteners, all that stuff. You get all of it in one very elegant formula. Yeah, that's how I tend to use it. On my lazy nights, I will just do that. Or if I'm just looking for a little bit of exfoliation and I don't really want to think about it or pick and choose like a mask or something that's going to be more deep exfoliation and risk putting me over the edge and getting sensitive spots, like around my nose tends to get really sensitive with exfoliants, this is an awesome option. So I just skip my other retinoid, whether it's tretinoin or the niche Beauty Lab retinoids, any of those, I would just skip that and then do a couple pumps of this so I'm getting my exfoliation and my retinoid. I still tend to add in some more anti-pigment stuff just because that is my primary focus these days, is to keep the pigment at bay because I feel like it's doing really well. So I never want to skimp on that or lose any progress. So I will double up on that, even though it's got some brighteners in it. But otherwise, for most people, if you want a really solid one and done nighttime product that's good for moderately sensitive, like super, super sensitive, you're still going to want to treat this with care. So use it like every other night or use it every third night. Dabble with it, see how it does for you. But for the majority of folks who are looking for some anti-aging, get a retinoid in, get some exfoliants, just know that you are covered on kind of all your bases. This is a great option. When I recommend it to my patients, most of them can just jump into it. I still say start with every other night because it's no fun to try out a great product and wind up with a little bit of sensitivity, and there's still that risk of it because it's a retinoid and it's got glycolic acid in it. So we're still risking a little bit of sensitivity, irritation. Just be gentle with your skin and ease into it. If you feel like you can use it every night, go for it. But busy folks who don't have a lot of time, or people who are just starting out their skincare routine and don't want to do a bunch of layering, a bunch of products, or travel, that's really nice. I mean, this is a giant bottle. This is the 1.7 ounce, but I mean, it's a big bottle for 1.7 fluid ounces. But if it's like cleanser, some sunscreen, a daytime moisturizer, and this, that's all you have to pack. If you really want to simplify your travel routine, this makes for a great travel option. Yeah, so let's go through some ingredients. I know I said I did this backwards, but ethyl-lactyl retinoate, we don't get a percentage on that, but it is in there and it's lovely. Glycolic acid, again, no percentage, but it's getting you some exfoliation. That is a deeper exfoliation than lactic acid would do on its own, or basically any other alpha hydroxy acid. So tread lightly. It does have a peptide blend in it, which I love. It is the tried and true Matrexyl 3000, which is 2 peptides, palmitoyl tetrapeptide 7, which is something that's going to decrease your inflammatory response. So it decreases interleukin 6, which overall helps prevent inflammation in your skin. And we don't like inflammation. We want to keep it as minimal as possible. It has a time and place to heal the skin, but inflammation can lead to a lot of the signs of aging, and it just makes it harder for our body to manage other free radicals and other things that's being bombarded with. So nice and soothing there. And then palmitoyl tripeptide 1, which is a collagen 1 fragment, which basically just runs around and the body sees that and says, oh gosh, I need to make more collagen because there's a broken chunk of collagen here. So it tricks it into stimulating collagen production. That's Matrixyl 3000, been around for forever. awesome, has good published studies available that show that it increases a lot of good anti-aging things. Okay, let's move on to soothers. It has lots of great soothing ingredients, which is also why it's well tolerated. It's got bisabol, which is a chamomile derivative. It's anti-inflammatory and soothing. Allantoin, there we go. Glyceric, it's a licorice root derivative that helps brighten and helps soothe. It's got green tea extract, which we know is an amazing antioxidant and a soother. It has purslane extract, which is a traditional Korean medicine plant with some skin calming, antioxidant, and wound healing benefits, as well as good old panthenol, pro B5 vitamin. It's anti-inflammatory, it's skin protecting, wound healing, and yeah, it's just a very nice soothing, healing ingredient. It's got some good antioxidants in addition to the ones that we talked about there. Some others that are brightening, ubiquinone or CoQ10. THD ascorbate, it's a vitamin C derivative that's oil soluble. It's very gentle, not super strong effect, but it will overall kind of brighten the skin, encourage some collagen synthesis. It's got 2 different kinds of vitamin E in it. Yes, one of them can be slightly comedogenic, so if you're super acne prone, maybe try the clearing serum, but do know they're very different formulas. So there are no peptides in there. Yeah, they're very different formulas. We'll cover that one another day, but if you're super acne prone, this one might not be ideal for you. It's got niacinamide, B3. We've heard about niacinamide. And then superoxide dismutase, which is one of my favorite antioxidants and brighteners because it's just got such a fun name and it is very powerful in your skin. And then reparatives and moisturizers. It's got good old glycerin, squalane, ceramide NP, hyaluronic acid, sodium PCA, linoleic acid, which is an omega-6 fatty acid, and cholesterol, which we know is a wonderful moisturizer for skin. So yeah, it is just, like I said, a nice, well-rounded, it's got brighteners, antioxidants, soothers, moisturizers, some peptides, some exfoliants, the retinoid, just a good all-in-one. I think this is probably one of my favorite all-in-one products in general, which is also why I feel so comfortable recommending it to my patients because it's going to take care of a lot of needs all in one, and skincare can be very confusing. Prices for this one, the original overnight strength, it is 1.0 fluid ounces or 30 milliliters for $140 US, or 1.7 fluid ounces, 50 milliliters for $200 US. Now, generally, Skinbetter Science is only sold at medical spas, dermatologists, things like that. I am not your medical provider. This is not medical advice. So you need to work with your own provider to determine if this is an appropriate product for you. So go through the proper channels. And that's that. I hope you enjoyed this review. We will cover the overnight clearing serum at some point. If you really want to hear all about that one, if you're more acne prone, let me know in the comments down below and I will move it higher on the list. Otherwise, we'll save that for a while later. And more medical grade skincare reviews to come. Yeah, thank you for watching. Until next time, be well.